Welcome back to Qualification and to Aldo Scribante for round 3 action from the Extreme Festival. Fantastic to see the crowds coming back out again. And we've got a partisan and a huge crowd that are hungry for motorsport here at Aldo Scribante. And up next, it's the CompCare Volkswagen Polo Cup. CompCare Polo Cup has been absolutely phenomenal all season long. And so far we've seen a battle that Cape Town has literally dominated almost for the first 2 rounds. We've got a little bit of work to do for the Gauteng boys and everybody else around the country who've now come down to the friendly and windy city, and hopefully the wind stays away. We're at one of the crucial tipping points of the season right now, and right now we're going to go look and see what happens in Super Pole. The top 6 out of qualifying make it through to the Super Pole, and it's vital to get there because you get that additional point. Dean Venter looks good again, and he's made it into Super Pole again. What's the plans now for that Super Pole?
Oh, well, I doubt I'm going to be able to better my time, so I'm hoping I can just maintain 5th, to be honest. So, but there's 0.003 of a second difference between 5th and 6th, and Tate is now on a flyer, so let's see.
Big surprise in Super Pole is Lee Thompson, who's made it back into Polo Cup.
Slowly coming back again. Remember the age gap? So it's slowly coming back again. I made a mistake on the first try. So I'm happy. Second's good.
Yuri Swart also in that top 6 shootout. He's going to be able to get to the front end again with the checkered flag coming out. Not quite close enough. It's Clinton Besaidnout who's at the front, and he's going to be the man to beat on pole position. So 0.03 of a second in the end, and Super Pole is yours, which means that it's another start of a good weekend.
Yeah, carrying on from Swartkops, good start that we had now this weekend. Sandbagging in the first 2 practice sessions, second to last, and then last session all the way to P1, and qualifying another pole for the Davidson car.
Let's see what happens now for race number 2 with the lucky draw for race 2. Is Clinton Besaidnout going to make it the perfect weekend? Charles Visser would love to be on the front row. Let's see where he's going to end up. He pulls it out. Oh, right to the back. 6, unlucky there for him. Dean Venter looking for a chance now to possibly move up ever so slightly from his Super Pole finish. And he goes to 5th. So the back row is all sorted out. Let's see who's that left there. What is Besaidnout going to pull? He wants pole. He wants the perfect weekend. Is it going to be the number 1 out that envelope? 4, 6, 5, 4. We're going down in numerical order. Well, we've gone down to Lee Thompson, who we had to go and find, and he pulls out pole. Oh, so the welcome comeback kid is going to get pole for second in the second race. Clinton Besaidnout, Lee Thompson, Charles Visser, Yuri Swart, Tate Bishop, and Dean Venter were the top 6. And Samanga was just behind them. Darby van der Merwe, not quite where he wanted to be, but he's feeling a little off today. Giordano Lupini also looking for a chance now to get back to where he was, and he's just ahead of Jagger Robertson on that grid. Getting himself 2,500 rand courtesy of ATS and Dunlop. That is our pole man, Clinton Besaidnout. He's got the money in the bag now to climb back into the car and do the job on the black stuff. Tate Bishop looking for a chance to possibly give a run there to the front 5. Dean Venter's in the top 6. Look out for Natium Samanga. Always a big danger man here in this category now that he's found the rhythm that requires him to be in Polo Cup. Lights on. And we're about to go racing. Is it going to be the Stu Davidson machine that hits the front with Clinton Besaidnout? It's a good start from Lee Thompson alongside him as they head down towards turn 1. Fist is on the tail. Here we go. They are side by side and starting to bang as they come down the main straightaway for the first time. It's Besaidnout on the inside, and look at Lee Thompson trying to drive around the outside. Looks like he might have what it takes. Yes, he's got through. Thompson hits the front, and Fister slots up into 3rd place. He's got Yuri Swart right on his tail, Tate Bishop and Swart coming together there ever so slightly. The 2 Cape Town boys mixing it up and starting to rub as they go into the Schaeffler S's for the first time. It's Thompson who's got the whole shot. He's got Besaidnout right on his tail, Fister behind that. It's Cape Town 3, 4 and 5. Natium Samanga with a great start. He's got through on Venter, and looks like Darby van der Merwe is trying to do the same thing to bring Jagger Robertson along for the ride if he can. They come flying through and onto the back. A little bit of wheels on the dirt there from Besaidnout. He's going on the inside for Thompson. He's going to have a look and see. Oh, he's at a tag. He's hit Thompson from the side there and gone up the inside. A little bit too hot there for Clinton Besaidnout. It's going to open up the door and give Charles Visser an opportunity to hit the front. But that is going to be a little bit of a dodgy maneuver there from Besaidnout. I don't think Thompson is too happy about that. Look where he's ended up. He's dropped out of the top 10 completely. So Lee Thompson not happy with that maneuver. Tate Bishop now side by side with him, Samanga, as they come out of Chevy. He'll have the inside line for Dunlop. These cars are all shot with Dunlop rubber, and as they go in there, Tate Bishop now with van der Merwe on his tail. Darby following him through, going to force the Squadra Course car just a little so slightly wide and bring that third Team Red Racing machine onto the start-finish straight and up into what is going to be 5th place, or side by side for 5th, as they go side by side there, him and Msamanga down the main straightaway. It's Visser who leads out at this point in time, keeping out Poseidon. Look how tight it is between those top two as well. Late braking from the Stu Davidson machine there, closing in on the back end of Visser. Really good start there from Poseidon. And I think he muscled his way past Lee Thompson. We'll have to wait and see what they say about that. But that's every man for himself on track. They'll sort out everything else afterwards. And Yuri Swart looking to pick up any of the pieces that might happen there. We're on board with Lupini as they come out of the Schaeffler S's. Running a little bit wide though. And you can see Giordano now starting to get into the rhythm that he was in Cape Town. Also starting to learn these circuits. Remember, this is his first full season in Polo Cup. And Giordano definitely looking for a chance now to be up at the front end with his teammate in the second of those Bullion RT cars. He's got a bit of pressure there coming from behind. It's in the form of Lee Thompson, who's making up ground now. He's ticking off the drivers one by one, and Thompson definitely wants to make his way to the front end as quickly as possible if he can. It's not going to be an easy day for him to come from about 16th place after running off there and being forced off the circuit there by Poseidon. Poseidon applying the pressure onto his teammate though. Fist is soaking that pressure up. These two have gone at it on a few occasions in karting, so is Yuri Swart. So the three front cars all coming out of a karting fraternity and slowly but surely showing the prowess that comes from karting. Tate Bishop, also a very, very seasoned campaigner in karting, under pressure now from Davy van der Merwe. Van der Merwe has turned his luck around here ever so slightly. Here comes around the outside from Poseidon. Is there enough room there for him? No. Visser forces him wide. But then he cuts back. Great maneuver there from the Davidson car. And yes, Poseidon hits the front. He caught Visser out there with that maneuver. He knew exactly where to place the car, do the cutback, and get onto the apex to get that overtaking maneuver done. And he's now hit the front. Now, can Visser come back at him? Yuri Swart wants to go along for the ride. Just behind that, they're starting to line up, and you can see it's not going to be an easy day in the saddle there for those three cars behind, as they've got to bridge that gap ever so slightly, and Tate Bishop hasn't been able to do that just yet. Behind Bishop, it's Davy van der Merwe, and then Artem Samanga. Absolutely nothing in those first three. Throw that proverbial blanket over those first three cars because there was nothing in it. And they're starting to become almost a five-way battle here. If we can just see that bridge gapped ever so slightly. Speaking of opening up a gap, well, there's a gap that just opened up. Poseidon just pushing a little push to pass down the hill towards Chevy, and it's opened up 2 car lengths. Is that enough to try and keep off the attack coming from Visser and from Yuri Swart? So the 3 Cape Town boys are sitting comfortably in 2nd, 3rd and 4th place. It's KwaZulu-Natal that leads out at the moment, though, if you are a fan of the provinces. And I can tell you something, Stu Davidson is going to be absolutely blown away by the performance of this young man. He's got a new man who's his teammate this weekend. Bryn High has joined the team, but Bryn High still slowly but surely getting to grips with Polo Cup. You can see him just in the background there behind this little battle. This is Jagger around the outside of Giordano Lupini. Jason Loosemore in there, and Lee Thompson tucked in there as well. Loosemore starting to come along to follow through the team captain there in Lee Thompson. But Thompson has got some work to do to try and find a way past on his youngest driver in his team. And of course the man is fighting so hard there with Giordano Lupini. Jagger fends off. You can see it's very close. And there's Ethan Gutsia coming into the mix as well now. So all of the Team Red cars getting together and fighting hard. They come up to the brakes for the hairpin. Watch out for this battle again. Giordano Lupini trying to fend off the attack here. Lee Thompson dives on the inside. Jagger's going to give him some room, or is he? No, not a lot. Oh, and he actually tags Jagger coming into the hairpin. There you go. Tagging the youngster and showing him that he's getting a little bit more frustrated. I think Lee Thompson is starting to feel the frustration there. He realised that he could be at the front end fighting. We've got 4 Team Red cars going at it here with the second of the Stu Davidson racing machines. And that's Bryn High in the mix. It's kind of like the lettuce, not quite the meat in the sandwich because he's the second layer in that Team Red Racing Machine's attack here. Oh, and a tag! Bryn High comes up and gives the back end of a tag there. Is that on the back end of Ethan Kutsia? Yes, it was. Kutsia and Bryn High coming together. And you can see at the front end it's starting to heat up as well. We've got a change up. Yuri Swart is at the front. Poseidon's down to 3rd. So something's gone wrong there. We just missed it in the background. We were watching the battles in that mid-pack, and the battle at the front is starting to heat up too. So Poseidon drops down to 3rd place. Visser into 2nd, and Yuri Swart leads out, heading into the Schaeffler S's. That's a complete turnaround there. Yuri Swart's going to say, thanks very much, I'll take that any day of the week. He'd love to get another victory in the bag. He's a man who's dominant at the front end of the championship and wants to hang on to the championship lead if he can. Poseidon wants to close him down. He's done everything right in terms of the pole position and the Super Bowl, and now looking for a victory. He was at the front and he dropped to 3rd. Visser hangs on for 2nd at the moment. In the background is Tate Bishop. So the man from KwaZulu-Natal is now right in the middle of the Cape Town-based drivers. We said at the beginning of the show that the Cape Town-based drivers have been the dominant factor here this year, and they certainly are showing the prowess to how we get to the victories in CompCare Volkswagen Cup. These guys are really going at it. And coming to the checkered flag, looks like it's going to be a last-ditch effort here from Poseidon. Can you have a look into Dunlop corner? Is he close enough? I don't think he is. Visser sees him coming, shuts the door. So it's going to be Yuri Swart to the line. A big turnaround there for Yuri Swart. I'm sure he was not expecting to get a victory here out of this race meeting. but it's turned around for him nicely, and the flag is out, so it's Swart from Visser. Poseidon comes through for third place with Bishop on his tail, and Davy van der Merwe finishes up in fifth place ahead of Natium Samanga. Dean Venter in seventh. Lee Thompson survived and got back up into eighth place just ahead of Lupini, and Jagger Robertson, the top rookie, in 10th.
Just super happy, yeah. I honestly didn't expect it. Didn't expect to have that turn of pace. So starting second now, the next race, hopefully we can keep up, maintain or convert, or do something similar would be great. But thanks.
Welcome back to race 2 now for CompCare Volkswagen Polo Cup. Cars out on track and getting some heat into that Dunlop rubber to get themselves ready. There's the big boss man, Mike Rowe, and our COC, Eric Schultz. They'll be making sure that everybody stays in the rules to ensure that we've got another tight battle for this championship. Thanks, Marco Busi, for putting our onboard camera on there for Tate Bishop as we go on board with him here on the start line. Will the angry car be able to get in the mix there? He was just off the back end of that pace. And when that safety car pulls off, we'll be ready to go racing. Yuri Swart has already taken a victory, as you've seen. Can he do another one here and surprise everybody? He was the biggest man who got the biggest surprise there in race number 1. A gifted victory there for him. But Lee Thompson on pole position is going to be an exceptionally tough man to beat. He makes a welcome return to Team Red Racing as their team captain and the man who preps all the cars. And he's now showing the youngsters the way around here. So these youngsters in Team Red Racing have got a great example there. Dean Venter will definitely be fighting hard, looking for another chance of a top 6. Charles Visser having to work a little bit harder from a bit further back in the grid. On the grid and ready to go now for race number 2. And there we go, heading down towards turn 1. Lee Thompson looking for the whole shot. The rest of the pack starting to sort themselves out just alongside. Yuri Swart goes side by side with Lee Thompson as they head down towards turn 1. Right on his tail, you can see already pressure coming from Poseidon. Note that on the back end of Yuri Swart. He switches his attentions now to Tate Bishop as they go in. Tate Bishop's got the inside line. That's why we saw the change up there from Poseidon. He realized the inside line might be the better option to be into turn 1 and, of course, into the start of the S's. He slots through. He's got Yuri Swart on his outside. Is Yuri Swart going to be able to get up into that third place? No, he's not. Poseidon slides out of the second part of the S's. Oh, we just managed to catch that car. Clinton Poseidon means business here in race number 2, and he's now applying pressure right from the word go onto the back end of Tate Bishop and sliding through to get ahead of Yuri Swart. Swart just caught out there ever so slightly, and that's allowing Dean Venter to come into the mix there as well. Venter on the attack around the outside. Can he find a way through? No, but have a look on the inside. Davy van der Merwe is going to make him pay. Van der Merwe diving through there, looking for a chance now. Remember, he was the Rookie of the Year last year. He wants to try and do exactly what all of the other drivers have done in the last 2 seasons in Team Red Racing and go from rookie to the overall championship. Although Davy's got some work to do now in that one because he's got a little bit of an off and feeling a little bit ill this weekend. So it's not quite working according to plan there for him. But a top 5 in the first one, he'll be looking for the same thing here in race 2. He's dropped Venter behind him as they come onto the main straightaway. And look at the pack just behind that starting to heat up. You've got an incredible pack of drivers. Ethan Kutsia tucked in there with Jagger Robertson. You've got Natium Samanga. We're on board here with the angry... Oh, there's a problem. Tate Bishop's got an issue. There's just no gearbox. He's got no gears there. It has Tate Bishop, and the angry racing car is pulled to the sideline and out of harm's way as the rest of the pack goes shooting through on the inside. Watch for them to fly past. Tate Bishop with some big problems there. That is definitely not the way he wanted to be finishing up this race. It's giving an opportunity, though, to Clinton Poseidon to move up to second. He's got one less car to worry about, although he's got to go a long way up the road to try and catch Lee Thompson, who's not going to give it up as easily as he did. I wouldn't say it as easily, but he was certainly caught out there by Poseidon muscling into this hairpin. Onto the brakes there they come. The rest of the pack. Giordano Lupini under pressure there from Squadra Courses. Natium Samanga. Bryn High with a much better start. That's Poseidon's teammate for Stu Davidson Racing. He's got Jason Loosemore alongside Lonica Martins. First time we've seen Lonica Martins in the mix there as well. A little bit higher up than what she was in the first one, but great to see Bryn High and Lonica now fighting hard for just outside that top 10. Lupini from the Squadra Course car, Bryn High. And there you can see Tate Bishop just nursing that car back to the pit lane. I don't think he's going to stay out there because without gears it's going to be very difficult to try and get some championship points unless something goes wrong dramatically. This is Jagger Robertson closing onto the back end there of Dean Venter. Just behind him, Ethan Kutsia as they come through and onto Hanger Sweep. Polo just over 140 k's an hour through that sweep, and it's a very difficult corner to get right. You don't want to be running wide too much and putting wheels on the dirt. Everybody's staying on the grey stuff. Exactly where they need to put those Dunlop tyres to get the best traction out of them. Ethan Kutsia now applying pressure onto the back end and looking for a way past. The front end, though, his teammate and the team captain, Lee Thompson, just disappearing and controlling things from that front. Here comes a move. Oh, that's a great move, actually. Jagger Robertson round the outside of Chevy Sweep. There's not a lot of traction out there, but he was able to stay side by side with Natium Samanga, and he's still side by side as they come up towards Dunlop. Fantastic race action there, and he's got through. Just in the foreground of that shot, you can see Jagger Robertson has squeezed out Natium Samanga and found a way past the Squadra Course man. They're coming up on Giordano Lupini and on Venter. Two of them now trying to get into the slipstream of those two cars. Giordano pulls around alongside, uses a push to pass there, I think, to go past. Here comes the move, and that's Jagger Robertson diving on Dean Fenter. Late braking into turn 1, and done deal. But he did lose out to the Squadra Courseman as he runs a little bit wide. Could Fenter come back at him? Yes, he does. Fenter comes straight back at Jagger Robertson. Robertson using the little amount of experience he's got. Remember, he comes out of BMW Racing and out of NX Legends, and now into Polo Cup for his full first season. This is the team boss man. Lee Thompson dominating at the front end. Not going to give Clinton Besaidnout any opportunity to close down on him. But I think Besaidnout will be thinking to himself, you know what, second place to Lee Thompson, who's not really involved in this championship, would probably be a great bit of points grabbed here, considering that his arch rivals are nowhere near him. Look at where Yuri Swart is. He hasn't got the pace to run with Besaidnout here in race number 2. And Swart seems to just have been gifted that first victory. He'll take it, though, and take those championship points as the flag is going to come out. Lee Thompson makes a welcome return to Polo Cup. Didn't have it quite go according to plan in race 1 with an 8th, but it's first place in race 2. Lee Thompson there taking it from Besaidnout, and Swart, Darby Finamava up in the 4th place. He'll be happy with that. Charles Fisser, his teammate behind that. Lupini 6, Msamanga 7, Jagger Robertson, Loosemore, and Dean Fenter, your top 10. Let's head down to pit lane now and catch up with the drivers as they get to their official overall prize giving.
And in third overall, Lee Thompson, Universal Healthcare, and on behalf of, thank you Tanya, for accepted. I've got a photo. Second overall, and nearing the championship local boy, Clinton Besaidnout. Well done. First overall, and he maintained his lead in the championship, Yuri Swart Alpine Motors.
Cap on with first place, and he maintains the first place in the championship as well by 9 points over Charles Fisser. Besaidnout has closed things down though into third ahead of Tate Bishop, Darby Finamava, and Giordano Lupini.